Welcome to Season 3 of Sailing Sitka. I'm Kenna and this is Jay. We live aboard our 1976 Choi Lee sailboat named Sitka, in which we have sailed south from Canada in 2022 to the very last port of Mexico. This season, we are finally exiting Mexico and taking our boat further through the Panama Canal and into the beautiful Central American waters. Alongside us for this season is our pal Nico, who is taking along for the adventure because why the hell not? So hit that subscribe button and follow along, as this season we are sailing as far and wide as possible. You guys, you make this happen and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome back, you guys. This episode is all about our sailboat Sitka getting officially splashed here at Marina Chiapas.
Sitka's about to get wet.
The past couple days, we've banged out loads of work on the hard, and now with our new crewmate Nick arriving, we are ready to get Sitka back in the water and floating once again. Thanks for popping in. We hope you enjoyed this episode that we created, and if you do, take a second to shoot us a like or comment, and of course, a sub if you haven't already. Cheers and enjoy this week's video. What up, you guys? It is splash day and we are so excited. They already have the travel lift running, so we're just waiting for them to kind of kick it in high gear, and Sitka is getting wet today and we're so soaked. Mostly because you cannot live on your boat while on the hard here in Marina Chiapas, and that is a major downfall of this marina. Like, we absolutely love this marina when we're in the water, but if you need to haul out and you need to get a lot of work done, it is extremely hard here because you have to leave your boat at the end of the day and go to an Airbnb, and the closest thing possible to that is an hour bus ride away, and it is so exhausting. You don't get as much work done as you'd like because the buses don't run 24/7. So we made that mistake our first day because we worked until super late, like 9 p.m. Went to go catch the bus, couldn't do it, ended up hitchhiking anyway. So we're just super excited to get into the water and finally sleep on Sitka, our home, our baby, our love, for the first night in 6 months, and we are so stoked. Also, you might see we also have Nick aboard, which is our third crew member. We're so excited to have him. You're gonna be seeing him a lot in these videos. And yeah, let's get splashing. Once Sitka was lifted up slightly, it was our time to start tackling the parts of the bottom that were covered with the jack stands. So now, with the help of Nick, we are quickly sanding all the little spots while Jay and I run around painting 2 coats on each section, with the very little bottom paint we had left.
Alright, we've got the last of the paint going on below the keel. So let's move these blocks out of the way there. There we go.
Just like that, she was on the move once again, more eager than ever to be splashed.
We're going in the water!
We have been counting down the days until this very moment for a little over 6 months. So for it to be unfolding before our eyes got our blood pumping, and we couldn't help but have butterflies in our stomach.
Baby girl! Come on, baby girl, she's going in!
But that may be partially due to the gut-wrenching nerves that you experience while witnessing your floating house being lifted into the air with slings. Is it just me, or does this ever not cause stress? Let us know in the comments below your splash stories with your own sailboat. Touchdown.
Touchdown. She's wet, but she's not on our water line yet.
We freaking did it! Back at the marina, back in the water, feels so freaky good. How's it feel?
Really good. Everything so far is good. Bill just not bringing in any water. Checked all the through hauls. Engine flashed up right away. First turn of the key, and I didn't flash it up for 6 months, so that's a good sign.
Hell yeah. Woo! We did so good, and we didn't even practice anything. We just nailed it.
Well, also,
right
like, for those of you who don't know, like, Nick's a sailor. Like, he has his own boat in Mexico, so he knows what's going on.
That's Nicky boy. He's with us for 4 months.
What's up?
Oh my god, you
boy.
son of a gun.
It has begun.
Oh God have mercy.
Alright guys, real-time update. It's 5:41 p.m. We've been up since 4:30 a.m. Today's the day that Nick arrived from San Diego, but he crossed the border to TJ on foot, so he got in pretty early. And we splashed the boat today. Pretty tired. It is hot as hell. We have some of the hatches closed because there's an insane amount of mosquitoes. So Kenna, being the absolute legend that she is, took it upon herself to like build mosquito nets, even though she's been up for like a shit ton of time right now. So she's got the companionway done, which is great. And then she's got this hatch. And then the V-berth is already done, sewn, but there's so much stuff in there, I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm like soaked in sweat. So she's doing the last one right now for the night, which is gonna be our cabin, which is here. So right now it's currently closed, but we're gonna have mosquito netting soon. Yeah, we still have to make our bed. As you can see, it's like full of stuff still. And we haven't eaten dinner yet. Nick is having a little nap right now because he's been up for way longer than us because he flew overnight on a red eye. So anyways, that's what's going on. It's really good to be back in the water. Everything went super well. We're gonna have a little bit more time now to film that we're back in the water. We don't have to like take the bus all the way to Tapachula. It will take some getting used to the heat though, I'm not gonna lie. Like the last 4 days we were like, the one advantage of having to go there is we had AC in the Airbnb, but that is no longer the case. But at night it drops down quite a bit, so in a couple hours here it should cool down. So we're probably gonna eat and then I'll go shower, and then that way like we're kind of refreshed and then chill. But it's already, you can feel it's cooler right now already, so that's kind of nice. But anyways, that's a little live update. Today is the 11th of October 2024. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Oh damn, by the way, this machine is like I think 60 years old, but she still runs great.
Our first night sleep on Sitka after a 1.5 years off was everything I expected it to be. Although maybe slightly hotter, stickier, and we were nearly swimming in our own sweat all night. But other than that, we were happy to be back, and more importantly, successfully floating once again. Let's start the day off by diving into more projects now that we're tied up to a dock.
Alright, so day one back in the water. I mean, yesterday was the first day back in the water, but today's the first full day back in the water. Me and Nick are gonna be attacking the main mast. So Nick's gonna be pulling me up the main mast. I'm gonna fill the small surface holes with thick and epoxy They're like very small, so I wouldn't be able to put any wood in there. It's like there's no place to put wood. So, but it's so hot here that I have to go up. Basically, I just bought these little Tupperware, so I'm gonna bring like the hardener and the resin in different bowls, and I'm gonna mix them up there because it's just too hot. It's gonna kick too fast. And once that's done, we're gonna wait an hour, and it's gonna be fully cured already. And then I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna sand those little spots and clean them and give a coat of Cetol, and then an hour after that we're gonna put everything up. So we're gonna start putting the stack back up first, and then after that we're gonna put the sail up, reef points, all that extra jazz. And Kenna in the meantime will be starting the mizzen, so she's gonna be sanding the bottom part and the boom, which both parts we use Epiphanis varnish on that part, and then the top part of the mast gets Cetol. The part we can't reach from deck basically gets Cetol. The only reason we did varnish on the bottom of the mast is because we see it all the time there, because it's in the cockpit, so we like it a bit to be a bit nicer. But to be fair, in retrospect, we would have done Cetol for everything because it's pretty. The Cetol natural teak's actually kind of nice. But that's the plan. We'll bring you along today because we have a little more time now. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God. Oh yeah, so for those of you who are new here and are wondering why there's holes in our mast, well, when we left our boat here end of last March in 2024, a few months later we got some nice people on board Mosaic, another sailboat that's here, message us telling us that a woodpecker had starting violating both our masts, and not for food but to make a nest. So they made a giant freaking hole in the mizzen mast. Like, I'm talking a hole this big, like pretty substantial. On the main mast it wasn't as bad, it's just like surface things. I think there's one hole that goes through, but it's like the size of a quarter. I'm gonna open that up. And then we had like good friend Paul too on Sister Midnight, who went up and actually patched the mast on the mizzen, thank God. So anyways, that is why we have holes. So woodpeckers are not our friends. They are dead. if you like birds,
woodpecker.
Yeah, he motherfucker's dead. We literally like paid a guy at the yard to shoot it because they tried everything. Like, we put deterrents out, like, well, not us, but people on Mosaic were nice enough to come and hang like bird deterrent on there. We even bought some on Amazon, shipped it to Mexico. It didn't work. So then we're like, that's it. Like, it's like, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, kill it. Like, it needs to die. Like, I'm sorry, but like, we can't lose both our rig. Like, that's be like end of sailing forever. Like, it's expensive as hell to like get a new rig and everything. So anyways, that's why we have holes, and now we gotta fix them. So if it wasn't for these dumb birds, all the sails would be up already. We'd be done. Like, we'd be done all the rigging shit. Like, normally it takes us one day, we varnish both masts and we're done. But now we don't. It takes a long time because it's a multi-step process that you have to wait in between each step. So, but it is what it is, so we gotta deal with it. And it's hot as balls here. Like, hot as balls.
You can't say balls.
Oh, yeah. Nick's still camera shy.
He won't be soon.
Alright, let's get going.
Now I am putting Epiphanis on the bottom part of the mast, the boom, and I think that's all I'm gonna have time for today, because we call it quits at about 3 o'clock. Everybody goes to the pool and has beers and drinks and just chills and talks about boats and other related things. And you know, that sounds a lot better than sanding and varnishing and dealing with woodpecker holes in our mast. So yeah, anyway, the boys are doing really good. They're working together super well. Really helps that Nick's a sailor and knows what is up. So yeah, they're tackling things over there. Right now, Jay is resurfacing that winch that's on the main mast. Yeah, and we're just tackling one project at a time. Another cruiser just walked by the dock and told us that it's not really this hot usually, so I think they're having like a wicked hot front right now. So yeah, anyway, it makes things a little bit harder, but what are you gonna do?
It's smaller than I thought.
Oh, that's good. We probably zoomed in on the picture too, so.
It's good to see though, the inside of the mast is all good.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
All nice dry wood. It smells fucking good though. Oh, that's good. It doesn't even reach the sides of the I thought it went all the way to this whole panel. That's easy. I don't even need to cut it bigger. I'll make a conical shape. Or actually, maybe I will. Just the thing is, there's wires in here. I don't want to chop them. All right, so I just got down from the mizzen mast. Good news, the hole is actually smaller than I thought. I thought it extended all the way to basically the length or the diameter, if you will, of the side profile of the mast, but it doesn't. So it's about like yay big. And Paul did a good job at sealing it. So there's like no water inside. Like everything inside the mast is bone dry, which is super nice to see. No mold, no like rot. So that's good. So right now I just got down. I'm gonna go up with an orbital sander and like 60 grit to get all that glue from that tape. That tape's been cooking for 6 months, so like it's really in there. So I'm gonna sand everything, prep the area, and then I'll bring a multi-tool and kind of cut the hole in a shape that's easier to measure so I can actually plug it. So like I know the proper repair would be like putting a 12-to-1 splice, but that's not gonna be possible here. Like they don't have the kind of wood that you would want to do a repair with, and B, we'd have to take the mast down to do that properly, and it's not as big of a deal as we thought, and also we don't really use that mast, and like I just climbed on it and swinged on it for half an hour. I'm not too concerned about the structural integrity of the mast at all. My concern is blocking that hole so that no water gets in there and rots it. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go back up there, sand it like I said, cut the hole so it's actually measurable, come down, cut a piece of Douglas fir that we bought in Eureka 2 years ago when we had to build brand new spreaders for a main after breaking a spreader offshore, and luckily I got that wood. So our masts are Sitka spruce, but the second best thing is Douglas fir air dried, which is what we have, and I have enough to make that repair. So that's what I'm about to do here. No more holes. No more holes. There's no more holes. If you look up, there's no longer a hole. And now I'm just waiting for it to cure. It shouldn't take too long because it's hot as orangutan balls here. So in like 2 hours we're gonna go up and sand it, and then after that it's gonna be time to sand the entire mast actually. But yeah, it's exciting.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. It doesn't look like it because I'm exhausted. I'm tired of going up these masts, but it is exciting. I'm just excited to be done with these. Normally, like doing both mast takes a day or a day and a half, and then we're done and we can move on to all the other things that we need to do to get the boat ready. But now, because of the woodpecker damage, it's been like a couple more days than that. So I'm just looking forward to not being a bosun's chair and be able to actually get the boat ready. Because this is just like, it's not even part of the getting the boat ready, it's just annual maintenance. But it's looking bright, like a diamond. Kenna's looking at me and she's like telling me like, "Kate, look excited before I start filming. You gotta be excited." But I'm not that excited right now, it's hot. But it is exciting. Nick's excited. Kenna's excited. I'm excited.
Okay.
It's short, it's fat, but it filled the gap. The block.
Just like that, both of our Sitka spruce masts are repaired, and now we can continue on to our regularly scheduled projects in preparation for sailing further south. Swing by next week to see it all unfold, and not long after that, we untie the lines and finally get the hell out of Dodge. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.